Greetings, beloved people. We titled this discussion Anger Has No Reverse Button. Why poor anger management causes irreversible damage. Calm yourself and learn to bring your temper and your mood under control always. There's one mistake people always make and which never gives them a second chance. It's not stealing, it's not poverty, and it's not even failure. It is anger and wrong anger management. Across Africa, on our roads, in our homes, at work, in the marketplaces, in the churches, in the mosques, and in our communities, lives have been permanently damaged, permanently altered, because someone said, I was just angry. And anger is natural, but unmanaged anger, poorly managed anger, is very dangerous. Today's video is a wake-up call because anger has no reverse button. You just have to apply the brake. Why is anger destructive? Anger is an emotion, but when it is uncontrolled, it becomes a dangerous weapon. In anger, logic is shut down. Wisdom goes offline. Consequences become invisible. And in African settings, anger shows up in different forms and in different ways. One, in road rage, during traffic, or bike accidents. Domestic arguments which turn physical. Workplace disputes escalating out of control because of poor anger management. Family conflicts over land, over inheritance or marriage. Many people did not plan to destroy their future or destiny. They only reacted. But anger responds faster than their brain could control, and their destiny could not recover from it. So real life patterns which we see and experience every day. Let's be honest with ourselves. We all have had stories about effects of unmanaged and poorly managed anger. A man loses his job after a single outburst in the workplace. A driver spent years in prison over road argument, and this one is seen almost every week, if not every day. Somebody hits your car at the back or crosses your path anyhow. You get down out of anger, you punch the person, damage is done, it become police case, then it become prison damage, assault. So in many African homes, anger is excuse in saying that's just the way that's the way we are in our family, that's our culture. It's our temperament, it's the way we are made, it's in our DNA. I was provoked, my respect was challenged, my personality was being denigrated. But anger does not care about your culture, about your ego. Once the damage is done, explanations don't reverse the consequences. So be careful. Now, the cause of anger no one talks about. Let's share part of it. The real cause of anger is not just the moment. It is what follows after that. Regret that keeps you awake at night. Shame that follows you silently. Opportunities that never return again. And relationships that never get healed. Why? Because of things spoken, actions taken with uncontrolled anger. In African society, institutions rarely forget. And some losses, freedom, trust, life are permanent. Let me just share with us once again these two stories to illustrate this. Now, in a work setting, during a break-off period, they just said, let's have chat. And they were chatting. The leader of the group said, okay, let's share our experiences. Talk about things that happened in your life in the past that still remain in your subconscious and is still affecting your life now. They were sharing their various experiences. Then a young lady who is new to the establishment then, say, excuse me, something happened while I was growing up, and it led to me losing one eye. See that plastic eye, artificial eye, which nobody knew before, because she was using a pair of glasses. So she removed her glasses and you could see that the second eye was just plastic and not functional. He said in those days she offended her father. She didn't mention the offense in particular, but she offended her father. And he responded in anger. So in his anger, he beat her, and in that process, his hand mistakenly hit her in the eye. And that's how the eye got damaged. He rushed to the hospital, the medical science tried what they could. They went to churches, they prayed. At the end, it is what it is today. The eye was lost. Everybody kept quiet, they were shocked. See the work of anger, permanent damage. And it has become a trauma unto us since. Now, the others were sharing their experiences. Another young man in the group said, let me explain something to you also about my experience that has been traumatizing me, even up till now. With tears leading in his eyes, he said, it's about my father. My father is partially deaf, very much hard of hearing. We have to shout when we discuss with him, and sometimes we have to write down whatever we want to discuss with him. What happened? While the father was growing up, he offended the grandfather. And the grandfather then, that was before he gave birth to this young man. He was so angry that he slapped the father of the boy. And that one destroyed his eardrum. Everything was done to try and get better. He never regained his hearing. Right now, the boy said they could not communicate easily with their dad. They had to raise their voice for him to even have idea what they were talking about. And most of the time, they have to put it in writing. That is the danger of anger. And final one, which is also very pathetic. A man just bought a new car. He parked in front of the house and they were jubilating. Then his young daughter just got something sharp, tried to scribble something on the body of the car. Get what she wrote? Daddy, I love you. But the man did not know that what the girl was writing. All he could see was the car I just bought. Brand new car, what you call tear rubber. And this girl is now destroying it, scratching on it with a hard object. He just got a hard object and started to bang it on the carpals of the girl. The finger bones beating. You will not do that again. You will not do that. You will not do that again. By the time he satisfied himself with his outburst, the finger bones of the girl had been crushed beyond repairs. By the time the anger dissipated, he realized what he had done. He rushed the girl to the hospital. Nothing could be done. That's how the girl lost her fingers. By the time he go back home and check what the girl wrote, she saw, Daddy, I love you. He broke down in tears, but the damage had been done. Permanent damage. See the work of anger. So what anger management really does, this I just said so that you know how to manage your anger before you say something or do something that may cause irreparable and irreversible damage to yourself and to somebody else's life. Anger management is not a weakness. It is self-mastery. It means pausing before reacting, walking away before your emotions get out of control, speaking later, not now, before you say something you regret, choosing dignity over ego before you do something that will mar your personality. So in African wisdom, we say, he who controls himself is stronger than the warrior. And the Bible says, anger rests in the bosom of fools. And he that is so angry is like a broken wall and like a defenseless city, a city without a wall. May your defense not be broken with uncontrolled anger. So learn from the mistakes of others. They have already paid the price, like the example we have shared. You don't need to pay the price again. Learn from them before you do something regrettable. So one of the cheapest forms of wisdom is learning from other people's mistake. Someone else has already paid the price, already gone through the error path. Learn from it and be wise and don't go in the repeat mode. Prison stories abound. Broken homes, lost careers, graves that should not exist. You don't need to write your own version with uncontrolled anger. Pause. Take a deep breath and think. Like someone suggested, hold your breath, breathe out slowly, count 1 to 5 or 1 to 10 to get your temper to go down, because anger is temporary, but the damage is permanent. Also, let me quickly illustrate with this other story. This other man discovered that his neighbor was having immoral affair with his wife, committing adultery with his wife. In his anger, he went to the man's apartment. They were neighbors in the community, and said, I will deal with you. You will not survive this error you are doing. How can you? How dare you? In his anger, he spoke those words. And some few days later, the adulterous man died. And because the outburst was loud and there were witnesses, in Yoruba land we say, Àjẹ́ké lánàá ọmọ kú lénìí. Tell me, Àjẹ́ lánàá ló pọ̀ wọ́n. That is, the witch cried yesterday, and the child died today. Who does not know that is the witch that cried saying that killed the child that died today? So this man threatened that this adulterous man will die, he will not survive the act, and now he's dead. Who does not know that he's the one that has carried out his threat on the man? That's how he was arrested and carried to the maximum security prison in Lagos called Kirikiri. How did this story get out? After years, it is one of these NGOs that visit prisons to discuss with the prisoners, say, what got you here? How did it? So that's when he narrated the story. Because after they did the autopsy, they discovered that the man had got some health challenges. So it was the health challenges that he had that killed him, not any threat by the man. However, thank goodness, they took up his case and he later got released. But he has learned his lesson the hard way. He could have been prevented if he actually had. Yes, he had been hurt. He had been taken advantage of. His love and trust had been betrayed. But the outburst got him. Is it what the prison terms, the years he has lost, his work, his personality, his mental health? Because maximum security prisons where they keep the hardened criminals. And he was never a criminal. It was just that uncontrolled anger that got him there. So please, if this has been of use to you, give us a thumbs up. Share your own comment, your own experience, so that we also can learn from you. Then you can subscribe if you are not subscribed to my channel, Sinuga Reflections. In conclusion, before you react next time you are being provoked, please remember this. Anger has no undue button. Don't let it make you to write a check you will not like to cash. So, thank you so much. Control your anger before it controls your destiny in a path that will not work well in your favor. God bless you.